Hey everyone, welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about The Undoing of Thistle Tate by Katelyn Detweiler. And so basically, this is about Thistle Tate, who is a teen author, or at least that's how she masquerades herself in the real world. However, it's truly her father who is the famous writer of her super famous fantasy series for teens. But Thistle has to keep it on the lowdown because she doesn't want to get in trouble for it, doesn't want her father to get in trouble for it. But it's taking a lot out of her to lie, especially as she kind of starts developing a friendship with one of her super fans who's sick, and her older brother who Thistle kind of starts having a little bit of feelings for, but she also has feelings for her next door neighbor. And things get really complicated when her father gets in, has an accident, and basically is unable to write. So deadlines are looming closer. It's becoming more difficult to kind of keep the masquerade up, and Thistle's hoping that nobody figures it out, but they might.
Yeah. So I got it off of Edelweiss.
I forgot to say that. Yes, I did too. You keep me sane.
I'm sorry. So, and I'm half asleep because I was up very late last night making myself finish this book because I had a really hard time with this book.
I had to power through 3 books between 1 a.m. last night and this morning.
Yeah.
It was rough.
It was. No, but I just, I started trying to read this because this book's only 260 pages. So,
it is.
So that's a day. That should be a day in the world of YA. And it took me 9 days to get through it. And I read other things because it just never grabbed me.
Yeah, it took me a couple days to read this as well. No, I mean, it was an interesting premise, and pieces and parts of it were interesting, but, I never really grew to really like or latch on
I never
to any
cared
of the
about
characters,
Thistle.
I think is what it was.
So to me, the best part of the book was the beginning of the chapters that were the outtakes of her book.
Oh my gosh, I want to read that book. I want to read that book.
But I didn't care about Thistle.
Which was strange, though. Yeah, no, my favorite parts of the book
were the Lemonade Sky books.
Yes, were the Lemonades. Because and that book in and of itself sounds fascinating.
Right, but the thing is, I remember reading the description, and I'm like, this is perfect. I would love this. But I never cared about Thistle. I never cared about her dad. I never liked Liam. You don't see Oliver and Emma enough on the page to care about. And I feel like it was very flat. It was just this, and then this, and then this, and then this.
It was flat. Because when I think the different romantic interests kind of muddled the story, I think that while the dad kind of talks about the rationale behind what they were doing, I see that, but I never liked him, and I never felt in the Past Perfect Life that we reviewed a couple weeks ago, you had this dad who takes this girl, right? And you feel like you actually like the dad. You
kind of root for the dad, even though he was a kidnapper.
Exactly. You never root for the dad in this book.
And then, they reveal stuff about her mom. And if you think about it, we're saying there's a lot of stuff in this book. This book is 260 pages, and with a lot of stuff in 260 pages, it was kind of boring.
It was. It was kind of boring. I mean, yeah, because you never rooted for anybody.
And
you really didn't.
I thought this was the author's first book, and it's not. It's her third book.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want her to write Lemonade Skies. Can she just do that? Can
seriously.
you just do that? I want to read that book.
Right.
I think that's kind of my biggest takeaway from this.
And this is going to sound weird, but it kind of threw me because nobody ever says to her, "Why are you named Thistle?"
Because you're thinking it the whole time.
The whole time you're thinking it. And she's meeting people, and she's she's kind of a celebrity, not quite a level of a J.K. Rowling, but I would say, she's getting
She's like a Marissa Meyer.
She's like a Marissa Meyer, verging on maybe a Stephanie Meyer. And she's doing, they talk about publicity, and at no point did anybody ever say, what's up with the name?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that they would ask. Because I think that would be one of your first questions. Oh, that's an interesting name. What's the origin of that?
Yeah. Why did they name her Thistle?
And they never say.
They don't.
We should rate it.
All right. So our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it doesn't deserve a horn and is therefore a horse. So, what are you?
I'm between a 2 and a 3, and I just don't think I can go up to a 3. Because it took 9 days to read it. and it's 260 pages, and it took 9 days. I gotta go with the 2.
I'm going with the 3 because I think it was an interesting premise. I
Premise
think
was the only good part.
But I really liked the Lemonade Skies part.
I did too.
Those.
But that's not the story. That's not the
but
story that was presented.
It was so good, though.
That was great. If the whole book had been that, that should be a movie. That's another thing. Like, these big international bestsellers, never at one point did they say they were turning it into a movie. I get that there was fraud going on, but they seemed like they thought they were Teflon. So I kept waiting for them to come up and be like, because there's a part where Oliver's talking about Harry Potter and the movies, and like they watched the Harry Potter movies, and I kept waiting for them to say, "Oh yeah, the movies kept never."
Oh my gosh! And you just reminded me that my biggest issue was the Liam next door neighbor scenario. Like what he does makes no darn sense, and the fact that everybody jumps on board with it make you like.
The ending doesn't make sense at all.
This random blogger says something. No backup evidence or anything like that. Like it, I don't understand like why it got to the point that it did.
So, but the thing is, I think that could happen because things go so viral and so crazy. But I don't think that the fans would have. I don't think the ending would have happened. I don't want to give it away, but I don't think like the ending was way too neat. And I think in today's world, with trolls and Twitter and Instagram, I don't think you would have gotten that.
See, but like there are troll conspiracy theorists out there for all authors, and I'm sorry, for somebody at like a Marissa Meyer, Stephanie Meyer level, you've got somebody trolling with a conspiracy theory, like you're not gonna get on board with, like you're not gonna have this whole media backlash with one rando conspiracy
if you read the description, if you read the reviews on Goodreads, a perfect example is read Cassandra Clare's reviews. Like 40% of people love her, 40% of people hate her. If there was any rumor negative about Cassandra Clare, which there have been, those 40% that hate her are going to make it so huge. And I think that's what you're looking at. This is the same thing. That, yeah, the books were big, but they weren't that big.
Yeah, but not to the point where the publishers, like, also going into what this blogger is saying. Like...
No, I think well, because they would have
believe it.
They would have denied it, but they couldn't deny it.
And I don't want to. We gotta stop talking about this because we're getting really close to like spoiling
major spoilers.
And so we gotta stop talking about it. But I had to like that at that point. I was just like, no,
right?
Like, I couldn't get on board with it. And so maybe you could, but I couldn't. Like it didn't make sense to me. So we're just gonna stop here so we don't ruin it for everybody else.
So we'll see you around.
See you.
Bye.